This is a story of a king and his dream lover. In a kingdom of old, there ruled a royal family, where a young and vigorous king had inherited the throne. But the king wasn't the only one with power. There was also his stepmother, the Queen Dowager. She was no pushover, both cunning and domineering. The Queen Dowager focused solely on ruling the nation, faced with threatening neighboring countries. If war was to be avoided, alliances through marriage were needed. She wanted the king to marry a foreign princess to gain more benefits and maintain peace. But the king strongly opposed her suggestion. He refused to let his marriage become a political tool. He wanted to find his true love on his own. The king had already started dreaming of a beautiful and virtuous wife. He imagined her bearing him 3 sons who would become warriors and drive away all enemies threatening the kingdom. The Queen Dowager scoffed at his dreams. They parted ways in disagreement. 2,000 leagues beneath the kingdom's coast lived the Sea King's daughter, the Mermaid Princess, with arms of silver and a skillful heart. She had a dream lover of her own, none other than the young and mighty king. One day, the king went swimming by the shore where the Mermaid Princess waited for him, and so they met. She was the perfect wife in the king's eyes. It was love at first sight, eternal and true. The king brought the princess back to his castle and held a grand wedding ceremony, just as everything was heading toward happiness. The Queen Dowager appeared. She wouldn't let the king have his way so easily. The stubborn Queen Dowager was determined to turn everything to her will. She sent an urgent message to the Golden Horde, secretly requesting their Khan to deploy troops. She wanted to teach the willful king a lesson. While the king and princess were planning for children, warning bells rang of border troubles. The king had to bid farewell to his beloved wife and don his armor for battle. With the king gone, only the all-powerful Queen Dowager remained with the soon-to-deliver queen. Soon after the little princes were born, the Queen Dowager made her move. Her servants replaced the princes with dead fish under a blackbird's protection. Only one prince escaped harm as the servants carried 2 babies, planning to throw them into the sea. The waves mysteriously swept the infants away. In the castle, the Queen Dowager accused the princess of being an evil witch who brought chaos to the kingdom. She brought her before the royal court for judgment. Under the Queen Dowager's tyranny, the judges sentenced the princess and her child to be sealed in a barrel and cast into the sea, letting the ocean decide their fate. 1,000 miles away, the king was facing off against the Khan's army. Instead of fighting with weapons, they decided to settle it with a game of chess to determine victory through wisdom. The princess and little prince didn't die. They drifted on the sea and were rescued by the Sea King. Moreover, her other 2 sons were with him. The Sea King wanted to take his daughter home, but the princess insisted on waiting for her husband. So the Sea King, for his beloved daughter, created an island with a castle and turned sea fish into islanders to keep her company. The king finally won against the Khan, gaining almost all of the horde's wealth. But urgent news arrived. He learned of his wife's fate. When the king rushed back to the palace, it was already empty. As he stood there, lost and devastated, the blackbird came with a token, leading the way. The king set sail to search for his family. The anxious Queen Dowager quickly followed, intent on preventing their reunion. Finally, the king found the island in the deep sea before reaching shore. The Queen Dowager secretly placed a silver needle in the king's clothes. When the king and princess met, she excitedly threw herself into his embrace. The needle was driven into the king's body. He collapsed instantly. The Queen Dowager immediately called her followers to arrest the princess for attempting to kill the king, but the watchful blackbird desperately tried to give the princess hints. The princess discovered the needle and pulled it out. The king awakened. The Queen Dowager's plot was exposed once again. She lost all her power to cause harm. The family finally reunited and true peace began. Before an evil stepmother who held power, the young king's pursuit of his perfect wife was like hope for the future. He believed in such beautiful possibilities, always believed in hope. It was this belief that allowed the king and princess to stay together, supporting each other, overcoming difficulties. Staying determined to find one's own happiness is the best way to escape unfortunate circumstances. Has this story inspired you? Please like and comment below.